Kasey Hope from Pizzazz Art Studio, and we are here for a fun little Saturday picture of just a cute little drawing and painting and lettering together. So this is a very easy drawing. We will take you step by step through this just like we always do. We will draw first, then we will outline with Sharpie. Then we are going to add our color, and we'll do our lettering too. So there's a lot of fun stuff that we're going to be doing in this one. Now, as always, I will tell you what we are using, but you can use whatever supplies you want. So we've got our watercolor paper, our pencil and eraser somewhere around here. Maybe I won't need the eraser because I can't see it, but usually it's a good idea to have a pencil and eraser. I got a Sharpie or any permanent black marker, and then your washable markers. Again, I'm using the Crayola Super Tips, and they have a variety of colors. Okay, so these are all different greens that come in those Super Tips. Plus I've got my pink and yellow, and of course you can use whatever accent colors you want. So if you would rather do these accent colors instead of just pink and yellow, you can choose whatever colors you want. If you've got a watercolor instead of washable markers, totally fine. If you've got colored pencils or crayons, and that's totally fine too. Okay, we just want to come and bring just a little creativity into your space, and that means you can use whatever you've got. And can I just say that sometimes limiting your supplies helps you to get even more creative. We have, over the past almost 3 weeks, we have been knocking out a ton of different pictures. And what I have found, even in my own self of just designing stuff, and we've seen it with Haley too, she's helped design stuff, we are almost more creative when we are limiting ourselves to just a few supplies. Because usually at the studio, we are doing door hangers and canvas paintings and ceramic paintings and watercolor paintings and kids paintings and adult paintings, and we love doing all of that. But when your mind is going using all of that, sometimes you're jumping around, and what we have found is limiting your supplies actually grows your creativity. And we see that even, think about the way colors are designed. We have the primary colors, like 3 colors, and think of all the different combinations. When you just take those 3 colors, maybe a little bit of white to add tints, you can take just those 3 colors and white and black and get a whole array of other different colors. So it's just kind of neat to see when you limit your supplies, how your creativity can grow. And I say that so that you can not be discouraged if you don't have all of the supplies. Use what you've got and see how your creativity grows just by using what you got. All right, so here we go. I'm going to move this. I'm going to get my pencil, and we are just going to start rocking and rolling. So we're going to start with our big curved shape. Remember, everything is just line and design. So we're going to start with a big old curved shape. Okay, now I'm not going all the way to the bottom. Okay, down here is where I'm going to letter. So I'm not going all the way to the bottom. So do a big curved shape. Then we'll start over here and go up and around for that shape. That one's a weird shape. So this is not one that I can tell you, oh, it's a circle or it's a square. It's just a line. Okay, take the little line for a walk. We're going up and down and around. Okay, it's a little different. Then on this side, I'm going to make sure that it's not directly across. It's going to come down just a bit. And it's going to do the same thing. So I'm going to kind of go up and down and then back. Notice that where my line starts and ends is not in the same place, okay? So you don't want to come back and end it right there. Because if you do, it's going to look like let me show you, for example, on the back here. Let's say that you've got your cactus. I'm going to do a small version. Let's say you start and then you end it at the same spot. What does that look like? That looks like you could come and just prick it off, okay? So right now, we are not going to do that. We are going to make sure that our line starts and ends at different places, okay? All right, then we are going to go ahead and put our face on here. Now, y'all, I've seen so many fun faces. So you can do any kind of face that you want. You know, on most of our things that we've been doing, we've been trying to keep the eyes as simple as, as we can. So we are doing just kind of a curve and a curve. This kind of reminds me of our eyes for our bunny, because on our bunny, we also added those little lashes. So if you want to kick those little lashes out, you can do that. Give yourself a little smiley face with some curves, and then just a little circle for some rosy cheeks. All right, so when I do this, I'm like, okay, there's a lot of space up here. So you can add anything you want to. You can add a top hat. You can add a bow. You can add a flower. A flower is what we did in our sample picture. I'm trying to think of what else you could add there. You could add, just be creative. Add whatever you want to right up here. You could add a ball cap with your favorite team. If you wanted this to look more boyish, leave the eyelashes off. Maybe even leave the cheeks off. Do you a ball cap with your favorite team? So there's lots of different ways that you can get creative here. So I'm just going to do a circle, and I'm going to do a big flower, okay? Now these lines right in here I will erase, and I did find my eraser when I was talking a while ago. So I'll erase those lines right there, okay? So as you can see, we've got the main drawing done already. It's just that easy. Big curve. We got our little arms over here. Curved lines and lashes. Smiley face and circle. Next up, we're going to do just kind of a curved line right down here. Now you could do like spiky grass if you wanted to. I'm just going to kind of do something that kind of sandy there. Just a kind of a curved line. Then I'm going to do some lines in here. Just a few little accent lines coming down. Here, I'm not going to like draw it through the cheeks or anything. Okay, and yours might be a little bit different than that, but this is the gist of the drawing. Now we still have some details and we still have some lettering and stuff, but this is the gist of the drawing. So now let's get our black Sharpie, and here we go. We're just going to start outlining all of this. If you have been thinking about joining the kids club, do not wait, because like I said, we are starting on Monday. After that, after we get started, then we will have a wait list for like the following month. But if you want to start with us in April, go ahead and get signed up. We are doing watercolor for the first 2 weeks. On the 3rd week, we are going to do some hand lettering, kind of creative lettering. On the 4th week of the month, we will be doing our Wayne Thiebaud artist study. So we're going to mix in our art history just like we do at the studio. And so that's kind of how it's laid out. So we've got a link up here at the top. All right, so we've got that on there. And now let's just go ahead and do our lettering while we're thinking about it. So I'm going to scoot this up just a bit. I'm going to take my pencil. And I know, let's look back at our sample. When I was thinking about this, I had to think, how am I going to lay it out? I know I wanted it to say, let's stick together. But I thought, could I do it all on one line? I thought, that'd probably, that'd be tight. And then at one point I thought, well, maybe I'll just do like a little bitty let's stick and then together. I'll do it over here. Like, let's stick together. And that probably would have worked. And then I thought of another idea of doing let's stick smaller and together bigger. And that's the one that I finally decided on. But do you see how I thought through several options before I did it? That is one thing that we teach with lettering is you do want to, think through the way that you lay it out before you get going. So let's stick together. So I'm just going to I'm just kind of doing this one kind of plain. Let's, then S-T-I-C, and on the K, I'll just kind of make it fun. And then on the together, I want this to be really big. So we are going to do 2, okay, and on the T, we're going to kind of have a little bit of a swerve. On the E, we kind of kicked it in a little bit, and on the R. All right, so we're going to kind of got that in there. This is not, When we do our lettering lessons inside the Kids Club, we will go much slower. The kids will get font guides. We will teach a lot of different things. But right now, we're kind of adding it to get doing the drawing and the lettering. We're just going to kind of show you. All right, so then with my Sharpie, I'll go back over it. This is just such a good message for right now, when we all feel all alone, sort of, sometimes in our house, but it's so good just to see. I've just seen so many uplifting things, even today, with businesses supporting businesses, and people supporting people, and services that different places are doing, and it just, I really am just proud of our town and of our nation and how we're going to get through this, and we are going to stick together, and we're going to figure out how we can use what we've got to help other people, and we are going to get through it. And this is just such a fun, cute little reminder of sticking together, supporting each other, reaching out to other people. How can you, like I said, use what you've got? We have seen kids take these pictures and send them to different nursing homes, and send them to friends. And I had a friend yesterday say that a lady from their church came by and dropped off Easter baskets, or somebody came by, and the kids were able to gift them with some of their art. And so in a time where we feel like there's a lot of things that are not stable, one thing we can control is, what we're going to do for other people. So just kind of think about that. Let's stick together. How are you going to make somebody else smile? Maybe it's a call that you need to make, or I don't know, but we've all got ways that we can help other people. All right, so I've got that all on there. I've got the Let's Stick Together, the lettering. So now it is time for our markers. So if you've seen us do this before, you know the drill. We're gonna color, and then we're gonna add the water on top. So I'm gonna start with my light green, my super tip. I'm going to scribble it on. Now, one thing I am going to do, I'm going to go in the direction of the cactus, because you can see the lines. You see that? See how you can kind of see that even after you add the water? So what I don't want to do is I don't want to have this coloring going side to side like this, and it kind of break your flow of your eye, seeing a bunch of different things, okay? So if you see the lines, which you're going to see them a little bit, at least have them be going up, like in the direction of these cactus lines. So I'm just using the edge of my marker, really laying in. But remember, it does not have to be colored solid. Oftentimes it will feel like your marker is dried out when you're doing this on the watercolor paper, but once you add the water to it, all will be well. Okay, so I've got a little bit of that light green. Now I'm going to go to a different shade of green. And I'm just kind of doing the darker greens around the edges or around these lines that I drew, okay? And this is just for variety. It's all going to be green. And this is another reason we love these Crayola Super Tips so much, is they really have a variety of colors. And you don't have to use this many. If you only had a couple, if you only had one, that'd work too. I just like variety. Notice I'm not going a whole lot right here. I don't want there to be a line right in the middle of the face that might show up. So I'm just banking on the account that hey, whenever I add all the water, it's gonna cover all of that. So, all right. And this is the darkest one I've got, so I'm going to be careful with it, not go overboard with it, just kind of put it on those lines and around things. All right, and we've got that. So now with my pink, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to do the cactus right now. So with my pink, I'll go get some cheeks on. I'll do my center area here. I'm going to add just a little bit of yellow. Notice I'm not coloring it in solid. There's no need for it. Unless, if you're not going to add water, you can color it in solid. And then down here, I'm just going to kind of, I'm not coloring this whole thing. I'm just going to go right like at the top right here. And then maybe around the edges. Okay, because once we add in, again, once we add in the water, it will do its thing and spread all around. Okay. All right, so now let's get to adding our water. Now I've got two different size brushes here. Right now I'm using a big brush. This is a size 14 round. You don't have to. I just like to have two different size brushes because when I'm doing big areas, I want to have a big brush. It just goes a little bit faster. But then when I'm doing small areas like the cheeks or the flowers, I like to have a little bit smaller brush. So right in here, I'm going to take this and cover that face. Remember how I said I knew that all of this would cover the face? That's why I didn't want to line right in the middle, but I knew all of this green, once we added water, would cover that face. Gloria says, is this something similar that you would do in the Kids Club 10 to 13? No, this is not. This would be easier than what we do in the Kids Club 10 to 13. So in the Kids Club 10 to 13, I posted it somewhere. We posted our Wayne Tebow milkshakes. They're doing a cute sloth. So we were doing some drawings with pen and ink, and so you're doing some kind of a little bit more realistic drawings. You're adding some hatching and cross hatching. So the older class at 10 and 13 is going to be more difficult than this right here. All right. But we still walk you through it step by step. All right, so I've got all of the green there, and then I'm going to come back down here to the yellow. And so you see I'm just kind of loosening the pigment and then spreading it all around. And then I'm going to swap to my smaller brush to do the cheeks and the flower. All right, so here we go with my smaller brush. And now here you want to be careful. You don't want the pink to like smear into here. So you don't even really want it to touch the edges too much because it will bleed. Now, if I've got pink right here, I'm going to rinse my brush before I go to the yellow because I don't want it to get dirty. And then from here, after I do this, you can choose, oh, I'm not done. I forgot the little spikes. Forgot about that. I should have done the spikes whenever I was doing all of my, doing my Sharpie, and I totally forgot. So let me go on there now. We're gonna add these. They're really easy. They should have been done before, and I forgot. But they are very easy. We're gonna make V's with a line in the middle. Okay, so like you'll do a V and a line in the middle. Okay, over here you got a V and a line in the middle. Easy, peasy. V and a line in the middle. What I'm trying to do right now, since I accidentally waited and did this now, is I'm trying not to let my Sharpie get in that water, okay? If it gets into the water, it kind of messes the Sharpie up for a little bit. So there's my V and that. But I'm being careful. Make a V and a line in the middle. A V and a line in the middle. And these are just kind of upside down V's and a line in the middle, okay? All right, so you can do that everywhere that you want to. And then comes our background, and we're just going to use our washable markers and start doing our polka dots. And remember, when I do polka dots, I like to go left and then right, left, right, left. And once we get up here, sometimes you have to go up, down. But basically, you just want to stagger. Okay, if you can stagger, do a little half one there. If you're able to stagger, it's just going to look a lot better. So left, right, left, right. And then I'll use my small brush to make those look more like watercolor. And that's what we got. So, y'all, we will be doing another video tomorrow. Then, after tomorrow, on Monday, we have our kids club that gets started. So we will not be coming on live doing our free videos every day. We will only be on Tuesday and Thursday for the next couple of weeks, so that we can focus our attention inside the club and give them everything that they need. And so if you know somebody that would enjoy these lessons, if you know a mama who is looking for a way to have a little bit of routine in their day, I have seen firsthand how much better it is when we have a routine for our kids. And if you know somebody that says, hey, I want to give my kids art classes, but the art studio is closed, or maybe you've just never even had time to do it before, these are all going to be online, so you can do it on your own time. It is not on a Facebook page. We do have a Facebook page so that kids can share their stuff, but it's on an actual online hub. We also have an app for it, to where all the lessons are there, and they can kind of watch it on a secured site. So, so if you've got questions, let me know. Share this with anybody that you think might like the club. And let me see, again, we're drawing winners for the free Kids Club membership. So part of that, people started posting their campers from yesterday, post these as well. And we're going to have a big old drawing on Monday. So all right, y'all, see ya. Bye.